Welcome everybody to the first workshop for the Singing Horse Herd facilitated by me, Ginny Jablonski, and the person operating the camera is the herd's caretaker, Jeannie Patel Thompson. Jeannie, could you please say hello to everybody?
Hi, everyone. We're all here near Vernon, BC, Canada.
Beautiful. So what we're going to do today, the herd had initially asked that we open up a platform to the people who are Danny's followers. You know, Danny and I have an affinity for the people who watch her channel and follow her. And I'm very grateful as well for all of the people that have come to me as clients through Danny. And so the herd, in their desire to support me and my friends and the beautiful people that are on a similar path to us, they wanted to offer this as a means for me to get used to working with them publicly. And they initially said, invite up to 100 people and we will work with 3 people. But just before we started, they said, if less than 50 people show up, we want to do more. We want to talk to more people. We want it to be more interactive. And they also asked if I would be willing to do a Q&A at the end. So we can certainly do that. Jeannie's camera battery may only last about an hour or so, but we can continue. The horses can move to another part of the property where I actually have a remote camera that allows me to view them on the property as they move around. So we'll just see what happens. But for the beginning, I always open space with the horses. The horses and I have an agreement that we have an energetic beginning and end to each session. And it goes like this. We call in the highest aspects of ourselves that are aligned with the purest frequencies of creation to support us in our highest level of healing, our highest level of awareness, and the highest level of embodiment that is optimal for each of us today. We ask for a frequency of grace to envelop us and our entire being through all levels, layers, and dimensions, wherever we exist. We choose to be centered in our hearts, grounded to the earth, and aligned with our soul. And so it is. All righty, so let's see what horses have to say. So this is Montaro. He is the leader of the herd. I believe his name means or is associated with mountain. And he is an incredibly loving, wise, gentle being, and he would like to welcome all of you here today. He's taking credit. He says this is his idea. And he is ready to get to work if you are. So the first person he would like to talk to is Lisa. Lisa, are you available? And can you please unmute yourself?
Okay, I'm available.
Hi.
Hi.
So you don't seem familiar to me. I don't think you and I have worked together before. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Well, the horses work in a very similar way that I do, which makes us very compatible to work together. So I am able to perceive messages from them, and they will be able to provide you information that is basically provided by your higher self, your team, your divine guidance, your body, your energy field. So what is a priority for you will come forward. And it's different every single time. The horses work with people, it's different every time. I work with people, it's different every time. And so I might be quiet from time to time. I might have to listen. I am going to ask you to do your very best to stay grounded. I know you might feel a little bit of excitement, but if you can just breathe and imagine that you've just taken a walk in the forest and you've just come upon a tree that's been cut down, a perfect stump, the perfect height for you to sit on. And just sit on that stump and imagine what it feels like sitting on that hard tree stump. You can really feel that on your bottom. And just try to focus on feeling that sense of sitting and all of your weight sitting on the tree stump. And that will help as much as possible in attempting to keep you really present and really grounded. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I might be quiet. We'll see what happens. And I'm firstly just asking, I'm making sure that we have permission of your higher self to do this work. I know that you have given permission. I spoke with you just a few moments ago. And your higher self is appearing to me anyway as a golden bird. I don't know if cardinals have any meaning to you, but it's golden, but I'm told that it's a cardinal. So I don't know if a cardinal has ever served as a messenger for you or a symbol. Does that resonate at all with you?
It never has, but it resonates.
Okay. And then your higher self is telling me that, and just to be clear, everybody watching is able to receive a similar healing. If this resonates with you, the horses may come to you and communicate with you in some way. You may individually be having your own experience while this is happening. But Lisa, your higher self is telling me that the illusion that love can be used as a weapon is being removed from your experience right now. Does that resonate consciously at all with you?
Yes.
And for the record, I've never heard that before in any session. So very unique. Lisa, I see your higher self is with you, and there are also two other golden beings present with you today. And I believe there are other aspects of you who are supporting you on your journey. And Montaro said, the presence of your guides is heartfelt. So they are feeling the love from your guides, your aspects.
That's beautiful.
So we're just allowing this energy to be released from your energy field. The illusion in this life and any other, wherever you have experienced love used as a weapon, and this healing, this awareness is being offered to everyone present. And then Cobra says, may I say something? Yes, Cobra, of course. And this is Cobra here in the screen. I wish to compliment Lisa on her dedication to love, a path, a journey, a commitment to love in this life, in not only seeking love, but perceiving love where others are unable to see it. So he is celebrating you for manifesting light where others may not perceive light. Does that resonate at all with you, Lisa?
Very much. Yes.
Beautiful. And to be honest, I've known Cobra for a bit, worked with him a bit, not really the squishy mushiest of all the horses, I have to say. So having this message come through him, it's quite special and profound for me. And I hope it is for you as well.
Oh, much love to Cobra. Yes,
Mhm.
indeed.
He could use a little more of that in his awareness. So I'm just being asked to be quiet. And I'm sure everyone attending is really an old pro at doing your own work, but I feel called to say, if there's a lot of energy moving, or maybe more energy moving than some of us aren't acclimated to today, one of the visions that can be helpful is just imagining that your physical body is a screen door, and just allow a pleasant breeze to blow through you, and allow your higher self, your body, your energy field, your soul, and the horses to support you in releasing everything you no longer need. And just imagine that you're sitting on that tree stump, and everything you no longer need flows down through that tree stump, deep through the roots, into the center of the earth. Someone wants to talk next. Oh, Cobra says it's me again. He says there is a man in the audience, a man. Is there more than one man? Let me see, I have to look at everybody's pictures. I know I saw one man. And it's hard to tell from names because names are so I will just look at the names, Cobra. You want me to call out a man? Okay. Lawrence, are you in a man's body right now, Lawrence?
No, I'm not. I'm a
Oh,
female.
you're a woman? Oh, okay.
Yes. Mhm.
So hold on a minute, because I think Cobra wants to talk to you, but I'm being told to communicate with the man. So just a minute. Let's get some clarity here. Okay, Lawrence, and this has never happened. Cobra would like to speak to the divine masculine part of you. Is that okay with you?
It is.
Okay.
Thank you.
And Lisa, we're not done with you. Just hold on a minute there on the tree stump. So Cobra is saying, Lawrence, that there is love in your heart and there is love in your eyes, but there is a block in between that is preventing the love from flowing freely up and down. Are you feeling any resistance at all in your throat area?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So this is specifically a message to the divine masculine for all of us present here today. The masculine part of us, the part that is in separation from the feminine, and where we all but particularly Lawrence, where we all might have resistance to receiving love. So I will be quiet and listen. So Cobra is saying that holding on to pain and suffering and or holding on to unforgiveness is creating resistance for the masculine to receive love, to receive love. I want to make sure I'm getting his complete message. So very simply, he is indicating that, as we all know, our throat chakra represents the shifting and transformation of our voice, transitioning from being an expression of our embodied personality self to our divine self, our soul, the wholeness, the fullness of the soul. And what Cobra is saying is that where the masculine can have a tendency, and I know none of you will believe this, but to be a little bit stubborn and not want to let go of some instances of unforgiveness, some pain and suffering, that what that represents is resistance to love, resistance to receiving love. And if we all knew that, if we all could call that out and just say to ourselves, if it is true that my voice is being hampered, the voice of my soul, that I am resisting being a beacon, being the manifestation, being a messenger for my divine soul, divine light, divine love to flow through me in my words, in my conversation, in my community, in the support or lack thereof of those that look to me for guidance, for love, for nurturing. If I am aware that I am resisting the true nature of love, the true nature of the divine masculine, then I would want to let that go. Lawrence, do you feel any physical resistance, or are you really in alignment with this?
I didn't feel it until I heard you spell it, but it makes me cry. So
Okay, just imagine that you're sitting on that tree stump. If it's okay with you, I'm going to send you pink pillows of love, and they're just going to be outside your auric field. I'm not doing anything to you. I'm just sending you pink pillow of love, and your field, if your field feels safe, you feel safe, you can receive that love, and you can remember what that love feels like. And coming from me, that's a feminine love. And then Cobra is going to do the same thing. He's going to send blue pillows of love. He's going to send the masculine pillows of love. And it's actually a little bit higher frequency, higher dimensional love that Cobra is sending. And again, he's sending it to the outside of your auric field, and you can reach out and receive it. And you can just imagine, just test the waters and just allow yourself to feel a little tiny photon of light of that love. What does that feel like? Do I feel safe? Is it safe to accept this love? And let's
Yes,
see.
yes, yes.
Beautiful.
Feel safe. Yes.
Beautiful. So when I look at you, I do feel that you did receive the love from Cobra, but you're a little hesitant to receive the love from a woman. So does the masculine part of you have resistance or not feel safe receiving love from the feminine energy?
I don't know. Consciously, I don't know. Mhm.
Just put your hand on your chest and just ask if that's true, and to shine the light of truth anywhere the masculine within you is in resistance to forgiving the feminine energy.
Oh, okay. I see. I understand now.
And I do get some past life. I don't know, have you worked much with past life at all? Can you imagine?
Absolutely.
So this can be something more subtle, but deep and profound, but you can't quite put your finger on it. You're not really sure where it's coming from. And then Odalina is here. Jeannie has focused the camera on Odalina, and she holds the divine feminine energy like no other being I've ever met. She literally embodies and represents this energy. So she is offering, her name is Odalina, A-U-D-E, Odalina. She is offering to hold space for you and just allow you to sit with that pure divine feminine energy. And of course, Odalina is offering this energy to all of us. And then Lisa, if we could come back consciously to you, Odalina also has a message for you.
Okay.
I don't know if when you were a little girl, I see a vision of you with little pigtails like on either side of your head. Did you do that when you were young?
Oh, yeah.
So this is, I think Odalina is showing me this joyful, feminine, creative, loving, I don't know, she's calling you smashing. That's a very European thing to say. You're smashing. And she's a Belgian horse, so that's in alignment with her. Let's see what she has to say about that. And your lips are really pink, so I don't know if you just had like a purple popsicle or you had lipstick on, but your lips are really super pink, and you have little pigtails with little bows, not just like rubber bands, little bows. Is that how you looked when you were young?
You know, a picture doesn't come to my mind like that right off the bat, but I'm sure I did. And I
Odalina,
had a cherry popsicle.
Odalina is saying to you that soul to soul, namaste. She wishes to honor you and your presence on earth, your willingness to come to earth and bring the frequency of divine love to this planet. And she calls you her sister.
My God, that is so sweet. I'm
Tissues
so
required.
touched.
Might need a tissue, guys, for this one.
So do I.
And then Odalina says, so as not to hold another or one greater than all of us, she wishes to thank all of us for our presence on earth, our willingness to hold the light, to heal, to increase our capacity, to hold the light, to embody the light, to anchor the light on earth. And for that, she and all of the horses are tremendously grateful. So Lisa, I feel like the herd is saying they're complete with you today. And do you have any question? We will do a Q&A later, but before the herd disconnects from you, do you have any specific questions, or do you want to share any visions or experiences you had just now?
Oh no, I'm just so incredibly grateful that they even wanted to talk to me, and that sometimes you don't know if you're doing good on earth, but just if I can hold the light, I feel like that's something. I feel like I got acknowledgement. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. So excited to be part of this.
You're very grateful. And for those who the herd has communicated with, please send me an email and I will send you a recording of this so you can revisit the energy whenever you want.
Okay.
So that would be info@heartofthehorse.us. And we can do that at the end also. Okay, so for you, Lisa, will be complete for you.
Thank you.
And then, so the herd would like to speak with Helen Frazier.
Hello,
Hi, Helen, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm very touched by this. I thank you very much for even offering it to us.
Oh,
With so much love. And the horses are so beautiful in their hearts.
you're very welcome. They are very generous and they are very motivated to anchor a very specific frequency of love that has not been present on earth.
I understand.
So Helen, I don't think we've met before. So you're a new person for me. Would that be correct?
I am.
So I'm just going to take a moment and just make sure that I have permission to talk to you. And I'm just going to check in with your higher self real quick.
That's fine.
Sometimes that's necessary. Sometimes it's very obvious that I do, and sometimes it's not as obvious. So just a moment. Well, so I don't know if this resonates with you or not, but how I perceived your soul coming forward is a fairy, and the fairy's wings were both hearts, complete hearts on either side.
Well, that's beautiful.
Do you resonate at all with fairy energy?
I would love to. It's just that I had never thought that I might be able to.
Well, I'll tell you, I just saw your picture pop on screen right now, and you definitely have pixie energy. In fact, your haircut, I think, is called a pixie cut. So
Yeah, it's well,
okay.
I must say I do feel very lighthearted.
Beautiful. One of the telltale signs of the fairy kingdom. So I'm just going to close my eyes and listen and see what the horses or your higher self or soul wants to say. Helen, would you be open to doing some potentially very deep inner child work for a few moments?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Jeannie, can you just confirm for me, are we looking at Sione? Sometimes it's hard from the side for me.
Yes, yes, you are.
Okay, thank you. So I think Sione, I believe Sione is asking me to share with you, Helen, that Sione is a mother, and she was rounded up in Canada as a wild horse. And when she was rounded up, she was pregnant. And unbeknownst to her, through life, just the way things work on Earth, that terror, that fear, the horror that she experienced of being rounded up and displaced and put in a holding facility, very fearful and uncertain future, transferred to her daughter in the womb. And her daughter is present today, may or may not make herself known because of some inner child wounds that her daughter has. Her daughter mostly opts not to work with the herd. Generally speaking, she's still working on her own wounds, but she is a wonderful teacher in sharing her healing journey with others. And Sione is saying to you, Helen, that she would like to let you know that she feels within her being a deep resonance to some unhealed wounds that you have around motherhood and childbirth, inner child type issues.
She's not wrong.
She's not wrong, is that what you?
Yeah, I have, but they, how would I put that? There's a lot that I already knew, but I think there's still some residue left. And I may not remember the actual happenings at the moment that these things happened. But yes, there is a deepness, a deep feeling of something that is blocked there.
So
I understand her.
beautiful. So Sione is saying, because she holds a frequency within her that is similar to a frequency that you are holding within you, that she would like permission to point this out to your higher self and together with you, ask your higher self for a deeper healing for that part of you.
She has permission.
Thank you. And she's asking me to suggest to all of us that it might be helpful to ask for any, what the psychologist would call wounded inner child, what the shaman would call soul loss, fractured parts of us, dissociated parts of us who have not part of our consciousness, whether in childhood, early adulthood, it makes no difference. It could even be in vitro. Any part of us that does not feel safe, that has not yet made itself known to us, in order for us to heal more completely, that it might be very beneficial for us to ask for those parts of us to be surrounded by the light of grace. Be surrounded by the light of grace. And the horses said to me, it is not necessary for me to speak for a few moments because they are going to sing. So you may hear tone or frequency, you may hear a chorus of angels singing. I'm going to be quiet and allow the horses to sing. And they obviously mean multidimensionally. Okay, the horses are asking me to share the vision that I had of their singing. And I think you all already know that we were actually participating in their singing. And the way in which we supported them was we all gathered in an open air barn with a wooden floor. And I don't know if all of you are familiar with Western line dancing. Very energetically charged, emotionally charged, a lot of stomping in unison and fun and joy and moving the body and twirling around and doing it all in unison. And as they were singing frequencies, we were singing a song, and the words or the chorus was "We are love." And we were doing this as we were line dancing. And it was very powerful for me. Would anybody like to unmute themselves and share if they also had an experience of the horses singing? Or if you felt anything, it doesn't have to be a vision. Helen, please.
I saw an awful lot of purple energy. And to me, that was beautiful and joyful.
Wonderful.
That's, I can't say I heard the horses singing, but I certainly thanked them. That was such a beautiful experience.
Beautiful. For me, I was able to perceive like universal frequency stream of consciousness, but I couldn't hear words associated with it, but we, the humans, we present here, we were bringing that frequency, allowing that frequency to flow through us and anchor it on earth. And we were having fun doing it. We may as well all have had a beer in our hand. Not, no offense to anybody that doesn't drink alcohol, but we were having fun.
I was a line dancer, and occasionally we had a line dance that was based on a little bit of stomping and a little bit of country, and that was fun. And I also did social dancing, so I always loved dancing and music and fun.
Well, that's why that's the vision I had. I've never had a vision like that before, but it was relative for you, Helen. So isn't that lovely?
It was. And I find it so cute that they thought of that.
Hey,
They said line dancing. I said, oh my God.
look out, because they can scan us. And if your higher self gives them permission, they know everything about us.
That's fine. I have nothing to hide.
Okay. So now they really want me to talk to a man. And I think, just to be fair, Lawrence, I think the reason why they told me look for a man's name, because I would have assumed that your name was the name. So I apologize, but that, I think they made me, because otherwise I would have been looking for a woman's name and I would have skipped over your name.
I totally understood that.
Okay.
When it was happening. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. And so then, so the gentleman, Waza, are you available to communicate with the horses?
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Hi,
Hello. Hi. Thank you for joining us today.
it's a pleasure. So thank you very much.
Sure. So I'm just going to be quiet and we shall see what happens. Jeannie, Kalia is saying that Kalia would like to speak, I think.
She's coming.
There she is. Yeah. And that's how it happens with these horses. You think it's magic, but it's real. So I'm going to cry. Woo, okay. Woo! So Kalia would like center stage, obviously, telling everybody to move around. So Waza, am I pronouncing your name?
Yes, my name's actually Warren, but was just an alias kind of, it's a nickname. That's
Oh,
easy.
Warren.
Warren, yeah.
Okay, Warren. Okay. Okay. Sit on that tree stump. Sit on that tree stump, okay? Okay.
I have a hard time visualizing, but yeah.
Well, you just feel your seat, that you're sitting in your chair. Just really feel yourself in the chair, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize if it's embarrassing to cry. Kalia would like to thank you, Warren, for being willing to incarnate on Earth. For you have come from the future, and you have developed over many lifetimes a tender, loving heart that is easily broken. And you were so brave in being willing to come to this planet in the body of a man to hold the frequency of love that you hold. She is a horse who embodies a tremendous amount of neutrality. And to point out almost anything other than neutrality is very rare for Kalia. And she is astonished. She is saying that she is astonished, and she's shaking her head, yes, but there are flies. But she is astonished at the level of love of your heart, the tenderness of your heart. And she is reminding you to care and tend to your heart, because your heart is not of this world in this time, that it has a refined frequency, a very sensitive and high level of the awareness of what the true unconditional love feels like. And I'm asking Jeannie, I'm asking her if her pushing off other horses is any sort of a message. I'm not getting that. Jeannie, are you feeling like you want to share anything?
No, I wasn't getting that she was
Okay.
messaging with her body.
I didn't think so. Okay. I don't think she's complete with Warren. Warren, does that resonate with you, an inner sensitivity, like but it's powerful?
Yes, it does. Yeah. It's kind of making me a bit emotional there.
Well, isn't it rare for us to truly be seen for who we are, the light of who we are, the trueness of who we are at the soul level? It is rare, and it is wonderful, and it is something that we will always remember when certain people touch us and see us. She is saying to you that she would like to be a friend for you, and she would like your permission, Warren, from time to time, maybe to talk to you in dream time, or if you travel in the astral, she might meet you by a stream. Are you familiar in your dreams or your travels with a scene that includes a stream?
No. I do remember my dreams, a lot of them, but no.
Well, if something comes to mind.
I'm trying to connect with, I know there's something more to everything, obviously, and there's something more to, but I'm just having a hard time connecting. I want to get those memories back. I've been really trying to get, so I don't know. Yeah, if there's a way that can facilitate that, that would be awesome.
Well, she can help you with that, but she also wants to remind you, and I am channeling this directly from her, the more importance you place on remembering another time takes your focus away from anchoring your light in this time. And it is important to know who we are, because we can then reach out and connect, reach for those frequencies and bring those frequencies in and ground them. But what is more important is for you to focus on who you are and what your soul purpose is in this life. And in doing that, in healing any wounds from this life, you will create space, create room to receive the information, to receive the energies, to receive messages.
And I have been asking him for my purpose, but I'm just having a hard time. I have been trying to get the message across and find out my purpose here, but again, I'm having a hard time connecting. I'm very, very left-brained. So, but there are things starting to happen in my life that have happened in the last year that I've always been aware of a lot of things, into that kind of those fields and studying things. But obviously, in the last year or so, there's been other things manifested that I can, that's
Okay.
more
So,
tangible, or how you want to say more.
beautiful. So I heard your question in there, so just stand by on your question, but Zora would like to mention or respond to what you said about being very left-brained. And this is the number one resistance that you have to receiving the truth and the creative purpose of your soul, to truly being connected with your soul, is allowing your mental body to drive the totality of your experience, and to ask your higher self to help you find ways to work in cooperation with, not cut out, not discount, not make wrong your mind or your left brain or your mental body, but to work with that part of you to feel safe enough to begin to work in cooperation with your heart and with your soul.
I'm ready, for sure. I've been trying.
Great. So her guidance is for you to ask your higher self for help with that and assistance with that. And that it's like the dirty laundry in front of the door, which is the evolutionary gateway to what you are seeking. But what is in front of the door is the resistance. And what that for you is your education, identifying with whatever it is, math, science, computers, whatever it is that you do in your life. And the role that your intellect, that your mental body perceives and believes that it has and has to play in this life in order for you to make it through. Asking your higher self to soften that, to work with that part of you. And I'm going to be quiet and listen again to Zora. So just a moment. Oh, she said you gave my message well. Okay. She says, I too wish to thank you, Warren, for your presence on the planet. In some ways, for each of us to varying degrees, we might find it more difficult here than we expected. The mind is certainly one category of challenge, of resistance that many struggle with. And Zora is saying that the answer for you lies within your heart. You have no idea how powerful your heart is.
Yeah.
Okay, so the horses are saying they are done spontaneously talking with people, but they're not saying they're complete for today, but they're done spontaneously communicating with people. But Warren, you had a question about your purpose. May I ask your higher self if it's appropriate to answer that question now for you? Okay, you never know, it might not be, so. I heard it is appropriate follow the thread of his request. Okay, so there must be a thread to follow. So your higher self showed me a vision and explained what it meant, and then said to me, this is all I'm going to show you at this time. So do you mind if I ask, what is your educational background and what do you do for a living? And then I'll tell you everything I saw.
Oh, I'm an optician, so
Optician?
optician. So yeah, with glasses and that's yeah.
Okay. So it's funny because your higher self didn't say you may answer his question. Your higher self said you may follow the thread of his inquiry. So I saw you from future Earth. I saw like a dotted line, like a cartoon graphic of you coming from the past to present Earth, incarnating. And where the line ended, it split into two. So your soul has two aspects on the Earth, and you're both scientists. The other one, I asked what kind of science, and I was told science teacher. So let me see if I can get a little more physics. Okay. The other one is a physics professor at a college in another country, Latvia. I don't know if that resonates. So you have two aspects. There are different people, different metaphysical perspectives have different languaging around this. Some people might call it a twin soul because the soul that you are fractured in two parts and incarnated in two different bodies, having two different experiences at one time. Okay.
Yes.
So the message here is, well, the question you asked was, what is your purpose? To soften the hearts and minds of man, to be one who is trained traditionally, but who can perceive through the heart and with the heart. But this is more difficult than we thought. So the purpose I'm getting, and if you want, I'll do an automatic writing just to make sure. So I'm asking for his soul purpose. To soften the hearts and minds of man. And I just see this one purpose, to soften the hearts and minds of man through the heart and with the heart. And how you can choose to do that in whatever way. There are so many ways that you can present yourself to the world and be an example of loving kindness. Do what makes you happy, experience joy, be kind, be a loving example of what masculine energy can truly be, and ground that onto the planet. You're already doing it, whether you know it or not. You're just struggling with the power of the left brain on Earth, the mental body. And I apologize if calling it a struggle is maybe not the most appropriate thing, but
That's things are opening up, but it's still that access it's very restricted right now still. So
okay. Alrighty, Jeannie. Well, I don't think the horses are going to take any questions, but I'm willing to. They had asked me to do a bit of a Q&A if you guys would like to stay around for a bit. Jeannie, how's your battery doing? Do you feel like you need to sign off?
Yeah, I'll probably need to leave here soon.
Okay, so if everybody would like to just send pink pillows of love to the horses. And I will take just 30 seconds and turn one of the lights off in my room. And gratitude to you, Jeannie, of course.
You're welcome.
Did anything Jeannie, did you want to make any comments? Did anything surprise you about which of the horses showed up today or spoke or?
Nope, no surprises at all here.
Okay,
You can see Zeta's having a nice roll in the dust. She's like, we're done.
yeah,
She's
they're done.
itching her belly. She's itching her belly on the ground.
And Montaro, just when you walk by him, he said, well, I opened the proceedings and so I will close them. And he says, from our hearts to yours, we hope that you perceive the topic of today's conversation was love and the heart. So from our hearts to yours, we say goodbye for now. Thank you, Jeannie.
Thank you.
All righty, take care.